Do you all remember the story of Jesus delivering demons into pigs near the Sea of Galilee? And do you remember that he calmed a storm in the Sea of Galilee? Those two stories are connected. And how are they connected? This is very interesting. Let me explain. This is Silberman for All Israel News. The story of the other side appears in all three Synoptic Gospels, Matthew, Mark, and Luke. And in all of them, the two stories are connected. It's kind of a story with two acts. Let's start with act number 1. It always starts the same way when Jesus tells his disciples, "Let us go to the other side." Meaning they came from Capernaum probably, which is this side, and they came to the other side, here. And they went in the boat, and Jesus fell asleep in the boat. And then a storm started. Now, storms are rare here at the Sea of Galilee. This is not an ocean, it's a lake. But that storm was really horrifying, and the disciples thought they're going to die. So they called Jesus and waked him up. Jesus, Jesus, help us. There's a storm, we're all going to die. And Jesus wakes up and rebukes the wind and the water, and the storm calms. And the disciple says, "Who is this? Even the wind and the water obey him." Does this story remind you of another story maybe from the Old Testament? Yes, you're right, the story of Jonah. Jonah escaped from God's calling, went to a boat, slept in the boat while a storm was going on. Then the sailors waked him up and they threw him out, and then God calmed the storm. So you see there's an analogy between the two stories, but there's a big difference because here it's Jesus himself who calms the storm. And that means that Jesus is like God in Jonah's story. Jesus, he's God himself. This story tells us that Jesus is just like God. And now we move to the second act in our story, the main reason why Jesus crossed to the other side. This is the other side of the Sea of Galilee, and up there, can you see the slopes of the mountains? When Jesus arrives at this side, the slopes of the Golan Mountain today, he meets a demoniac person who's possessed by many, many demons. And the demons immediately recognized who Jesus was. They said, "You are the Son of God." And Jesus asked demons, "And what's your name?" And they answer, "My name is Legion." Jesus immediately sent the demons into a herd of pigs who were herding here, and the pigs rushed down in the water and they drowned there. So here we see that Jesus not only controls nature, but also the kingdom of darkness in the other side. So this second act also reminds us part of Jonah's story. If you remember, in Act 1, when Jesus calmed the storm, it was a parallel to Jonah and the storm in the sea, in the Mediterranean Sea. And what happened later? Then Jonas went to Nineveh and proclaimed God's prophecy, and the people submitted to God. And who were the people of Nineveh? The enemies of Israel. So here again, the demons that are the enemies of God submit to Jesus after he calmed the storm. Did you see the parallelism? I'm standing now in an ancient church that was built by the Byzantines to commemorate the miracle of the demons that went into the pigs. And I go back to our original question. Why did Jesus call this side the other side? If he came from this side, which was Capernaum, this was the other side. So apparently, in the Second Temple period, there were kind of a dualistic philosophy that there are good people who are the sons of light and bad people, evil people who are the sons of darkness. We learn this from the Qumran scrolls, and even in the Gospels, this motif appears. So between the light and the darkness belongs to the Gentiles, belongs to the demons, belongs to the idol worshippers, and this is where we are, the other side. Later in Jewish tradition, in the Kabbalah, the mysticism, there is a term that's called in Aramaic Sitra Achra, or actually it means the other side. And it means the other side of darkness, of evil, of demons. This is a very Jewish concept. So Jesus came to the other side to show that he rules also the demons, the darkness, and the power of Satan. This is the reason why he came here. And one last note about the name of the demons, Legion. Why are they called Legion? Legions resemble the Romans, like the Roman army. Legion is from the Roman army. And then defeating Legion means defeating the Romans. We know that Jesus didn't defeat the Romans. He was crucified by the Romans. But 300 years later, the Roman Empire surrendered and submitted to Jesus Christ. So he really defeated the dark side and the Romans, the idol worshippers of the other side.